Traffic in Galway is becoming increasingly challenging, and when every second counts, emergency vehicles can struggle to reach those who need help most. At the same time, everyday road users aren't sure how to respond when they hear a siren behind them. That's where ClearPath comes in. ClearPath is a smart navigation app designed to guide emergency responders to the fastest possible routes, whilst also educating drivers on how to safely and efficiently move aside. ClearPath brings clarity to chaos, creating smoother roads, faster response times, and ultimately a safer Galway for everyone. The contents of this video are as follows: exploring the problem space through idea generation and brainstorming as a team, conducting user research with emergency personnel, such as questionnaires, interviews, and focus groups, defining the requirements through identifying user needs based on this research, designing the prototype, which was the first iteration, testing the prototype with emergency personnel, refining this prototype post-testing, and finally reflecting on what we've learned throughout the journey. We kicked off the pre-ideation phase by booking a room in the Cairns and meeting as a team. We analysed the brief thoroughly and identified the overall requirements. We provided reasoning for picking each topic and considered its relevance to Galway's current issues and state of affairs. After a brief overview, we felt that the topic of Galway traffic resonated with us best, as it is a huge issue at the moment. This part of our video focuses on the first stage of our project, understanding the problem space. Before making assumptions, we wanted to learn directly from the people who experience Galway's traffic every day. To do that, we created a public survey aimed at gathering a range of perspectives from students, commuters, residents, business owners, and even visitors. One of the clearest patterns we saw was that nearly everyone described Galway's traffic as stressful or very stressful. Only one participant said it was manageable. We also asked people what they believe causes Galway's traffic issues. The top factors identified were road and layout bottlenecks, reliance on cars, limited public transport capacity, growing population and new developments, lack of cycling and walking infrastructure, seasonal tourism, and events like leading into ideation. Altogether, the survey gave us a strong understanding of the traffic challenges facing Galway, where they happen, why they happen, and how they affect people. We also discovered several themes we didn't expect, and they've helped broaden our perspective of the problem space. With this research complete, the next step in our project was to enter the ideation phase, where we explore possible ways to address the issues identified by the public. And so we went off into town to collect more insight with face-to-face interactions from the people of Galway. We pre-prepared leading questions that were relevant to our idea and our goals. This allowed us to record the interactions in back-end data files. We conducted several interviews with pedestrians young and old, postmen, shopkeepers, Christmas market enthusiasts, and much more, before finishing off the night with a small focus group consisting of our housemates. Post-ideation, our follow-up survey focused on how public reacts to emergency vehicles in Galway. Almost everyone had experienced an ambulance, fire truck, or Garda car trying to get through traffic, but many weren't fully confident about the rules for yielding. Most respondents felt that emergency vehicles are delayed or often or always, especially in areas like Ayr Square, Terryland Westside, and the Quincentennial Bridge. Across the group, over 2/3 said they would or might use a real-time alert system, and the most preferred alert types were car dashboard notifications, phone alerts, and audio cues. And so after conducting our first set of research questions, we met up again to begin our first iteration of our low-fidelity prototype. We each contributed our best idea and started to sketch out our user screens on large paper. 4 screens were designed, 2 for commercial use and 2 for emergency personnel, which would later be put to the test in our prototype testing.
Yeah, I see your two screens. I suppose it's my lock screen on my phone. It's what the notification I get once this is happening, but obviously in this situation, I'd preferably not be on my phone. So I suppose if you could have this show up on my Apple CarPlay or like car device.
Our final stage involved refining our prototype. First, we needed to collect our final user requirements from emergency personnel themselves. We contacted a relation who was a paramedic. He was happy to help and offered recommendations based off our first prototype. We also called the Mill Street Garda station and asked for permission to visit. They were glad to help, and we got a tour of the current layout and tech in their vehicles, which was a great insight. Finally, we visited the fire station where we shared a survey to be later completed via forms. All this hard work led to our final product. This project, we learned that good user experience design always starts with understanding real-world people. By gathering feedback from the public and analysing their insights, we discovered issues we wouldn't have identified on our own. This process showed us the value of researching first, identifying patterns, and letting users shape the direction of the project. Prototyping and testing help us refine our ideas and see where our assumptions were wrong. Overall, we learned that a UXD is an iterative, evidence-driven process, and the best solutions come from listening, observing, and designing with the users at the center.